scene. That's it.
Scene?
All right. Scene.
Okay.
And you pick up something else. You know, it'll run to the end of it. There's nothing else to say.
I wish my chiropractor were here because all we ever work on is sitting up optimally straight.
And just to align yourself.
Yeah, just to align myself. Yeah. Okay, this side. Get that. Oh yeah, that's much better.
And then as soon as Donna calls me, that way we'll see if she answers. Have Donna call me. My hearing aid has a Bluetooth.
Oh.
So
that's interesting. Two in
she
one.
she can call me like she's calling me right now.
Uh-huh.
Hello. Yep. So see, now we can do it just like as if it's as if we have a which it is. So
Okay.
all you need to do, Donna, is put it on mute in your when you don't want to talk. That way, if you want to talk to me, hit unmute. You are good. All right, we're rolling. Oh, we're already rolling.
Oh, what do you know?
So we're rolling. All right, so go ahead and mute us, and we'll. Okay. Hello, world. It's me, Dennis, and I am on stage with Amy Samet.
Hi. I am Amy Samet.
Yeah, this is Amy Samet. And Amy and I met in Toastmasters, and in a comedy Toastmasters that all of us love, which is Laughing Matters.
Where laughing really matters.
Yes, and we met, and so both of us have loved performing all our lives. I mean, you've been a performer. How long have you been a performer? Have
Actually,
you known?
I'm a late bloomer.
Yeah?
It wasn't till I joined Toastmasters, which was when I was 40.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
though you loved comedy.
Yeah.
And you loved, I mean, when you saw the comedians, were you a Carol Burnett fan?
Oh,
or
huge,
anything?
huge. But no, I was only a spectator until I was a player.
And then suddenly you went, how did you cross that Rubicon?
Well, people told me I was funny. I was like, yeah, just to you. And then they said no to me and my friends.
Yeah.
Me and my 4 friends.
Yeah, and they all laughed.
Yeah.
And so then you did you tiptoe in the water and just?
Yes. Toastmasters was speaking, but then I took a stand-up comedy class in 2004.
Yeah.
And that was just because it was on the bucket list.
Yeah.
But I realized that like anything else, if you do it and do it and do it, you will get better at it. And if you get instruction and coaching and direction.
Yeah, and feedback.
Yes, all of that. And so I got a little better. Not I mean, in my entire stand-up.
Yeah.
I don't even want to use the word career.
Yeah.
My foray into stand-up that lasted about 6 years.
Right.
I made $40.
Wow,
Yeah,
that is $40 more than I have made. That is great.
At that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've made more than $40 speaking and doing other speech-related stuff, but yeah.
But still, it's that comedy. I mean, I don't know, there's something about that laugh, that getting that laugh. I was on last week's show, last week in real time, not when this actually happens. But I was talking with Mel Blanc about exactly that experience, about what it's like to get a laugh from the audience, because he performed with Jack Benny, and they would get these huge, what that does when it clicks, when it happens.
Reaffirming, validating.
Isn't it? I mean, I don't know, it's a high wire act. And
it is, and I've only wanted to get laughs for so long that when I do a serious speech now, I'm like, am I talking to potatoes?
Yeah.
Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
I must not even be here. It's what's the word? Like lonely.
Yeah.
It's like scary.
Yep. But it's opening up another part of your character, right?
Correct.
And one of the things that Amy and I decided to do, and what we're going to do, is that we've each come up with favorite quotes that we like, and then we traded them. So I have Amy's, and Amy has mine, and so I'm going to pick one out of here, and we're going to see what we talk about, because neither one of us knows. All right, Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive, he said this in response to Harrison Ford to a statement, "I didn't kill my wife. I don't care." What's that about?
Well, it's easier to appreciate when it's not out of context.
I was just going to say,
Yeah,
because I just picked this card and I just went,
Right.
okay, I wonder what this is going to be on this card. All
Right.
go
Well,
ahead.
it's almost like that quote
All
is
right,
the whole movie, because it's this climactic scene. There's this gigantic manhunt to find Dr. Richard Kimball, who is the fugitive, played by Harrison Ford, and he and Tommy Lee Jones are in this 20-foot round drain pipe that's spewing water down a cliff, and Tommy Lee had the gun on Harrison Ford, but then so there's a skirmish, and Harrison Ford takes it away and is pointing it at Tommy Lee Jones. It's like, ah! And Richard Kimball says, "I didn't kill my wife," and Tommy goes, I don't care. It's because that's just not his part of the puzzle. His deal is he apprehends the guy. Justice is somebody else's job, but sometimes you just don't care.
Yeah.
You have to pigeonhole, but it was fiercely important to him to catch the guy.
Yeah.
But it just reminded me of, so how many times in life do you have to listen to somebody go on and on until they get to the point, and you just want to say, I don't care.
And how do you get them to the point? See, that to me is what I like to do, is to see if I can figure out some way to get them to a point that really has some salience around. Because they're usually, yes, there are people who just talk just to hear ourselves rattle.
Yeah. And it's if everyone woke up in the morning saying every single one of my human interchanges is going to be as efficient and streamlined as possible, but that's not real life. Everybody has an agenda.
No, we have that, as Tom Robbins wrote in Even Cowgirls Get the Blues, life is messy. Eat it over the sink.
I know that one. I love that one.
See?
Yes.
It is.
I probably could have picked 5 quotes out of that book.
All right.
Thank you for bringing that one in.
All right, give me one.
Oh, yeah, here's one. You don't have to swing at every mental pitch.
Yep. That is something that comes from my wife. It came from another friend of ours, but this is something that she and I discuss all the time, because I will watch television and suddenly I will just get all up in arms over something, or somebody will post something on Facebook, and by goodness, I just got to get in there and type about it and give it but you know what? I don't have to swing at every pitch.
Right.
I can let that one just go by. Yeah. I don't have to take umbrage. I don't have to get all up in it. Why don't we just take a pitch? Let that one just go by.
So it'd be like choose your battles.
Yeah,
same
pick your
basic,
battles, and just make sure that is a key part of what I'm going to be willing to do in order to keep peace of mind, because that's what I usually I will find something just to be upset about just because I want to, just because I don't want to pay attention to what I really need to pay attention to right in front of us.
That's very insightful. That's very, very insightful.
All right, here we go. This is a source unknown, who says, our greatest glory lies not in never failing, but in do it again, take 2. Our greatest joy, take
You want me
3.
to say it?
No. You gave me the card. These are my cards. I get to say it.
All right.
I may not say it well. I may take 17 times to do it.
We could compete. We can
All
have
right.
like a,
All right. Let's try
quote
that.
up.
All right. Our greatest glory lies not in never falling, but in getting up again every time we fall.
That was pretty good. You did nail it.
Much better.
Yes.
Much better. And it's all about resilience, right?
It is. It is. It's not what you accomplish. It's what you do when you don't accomplish it.
Right.
how you bounce back.
And haven't you written something or performed something and sat there and nothing?
Oh,
Crickets.
please.
Just
so many
sit
times.
there and go
so many
and
times.
go, oh dear goddess.
Yes, there's that. And there's another one that goes hand in hand with that one is the master has failed more times than the beginner has tried. So success needs a lot of failure. A lot of failure has to roll up to it because that's the only way to learn.
That's the thing that I love about Toastmasters, and especially this comedy Toastmasters that we're in, Laughing Matters.
Is that how much we get to fail?
Yep.
Oh, say it again.
Laughing Matters.
Where laughing really matters.
That's an inside joke, but that's fine. Anyhow, it's a great place to be mediocre. It allows me to be mediocre because if I can't be mediocre, if I'm not willing to be mediocre, I'm never going to get better.
Right. You got to be stinky at something before you can be good.
Yeah, and it'd be okay. Excuse me. I just spit. I apologize. Your turn.
Not a worry. Okay. Some of us keep indignation in our hip pockets and conspiracy on speed dial.
You know, that's the umbrage. That's just give me something to be upset about, and I can do it. I'm trying to think of any situation where my getting upset made it better.
Right. Good point. Oh, well, there are, but it's a choose your battles thing.
But that's what I'm asking. I mean, but where is getting upset?
Oh, right.
Where did it make me do? When was I more effective?
Yeah, I hear you. You know, I got to tell you, recently there was a situation where same situation that me and our friend Laura Redburn were both facing. I was angry about it. She was not angry about it. I wanted to fix it with some angry words, and she was like, "But I have eloquent words that would fix it even easily. No feathers would be ruffled, and the problem would still get solved." Like, you're the best. You are so amazing. And usually you have to sleep on it for about a month, maybe 2 months, sometimes years. And then you think, okay, those would have been the perfect words for me to say. I could have said it eloquently, framing it in the other person's, like, as a favor to you. I'm going to let you go away and think about that, and you will discover on your own.
It will come to you like a wonderful light, a slow dawn that will go, of course,
right. And
Amy was right.
But my solution was just go away. Not go away, just go away. Not as lovely.
All right, what do we have here? Oh, we're both Gilmore Girls fans.
Yes.
Yes, and Kirk from Gilmore Girls, which I love. An oral agreement is only as good as the paper it's written on. Amy Sheridan Palladino,
yes,
God bless her.
She's a great writer. And in all truth, you needed to see Kurt's face when he said it, because he had just been bitching about the fact that the price of toast went up from $1 to $1.10, and he got Luke down to $1.05.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes later, it turned out that Kirk had put in a bid on the mansion that Luke had also put a bid on, and that he had $250,000 sitting around.
After he got it for 10 cents on the toast.
10 cents on the toast. And then Luke said, "Taylor promised me the house." And Kirk says, "Did you have a written agreement?" And he said, "No, it's just, a spoken promise." And he said, "Well, oral agreement's not worth the paper it's written on."
Do you have trust with people that they say what they're going to do and then follow up on it?
Absolutely zero. Absolutely none. Every time it happens, it's a miracle, and I thank God for it. Every time I come to a Toastmasters meeting and there's 12 roles and 10 people have signed up and those 10 people show up, I'm like, it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful, wonderful thing.
Isn't it wonderful? It's a miracle when they have, and it's a wonderful word. Do you see that? Are you a glass half full or a glass half empty?
Well, I try to pretend to be a glass half full, but I guess I'm actually a closet half empty.
Yeah. And what's it still, you can be surprised. I mean, we can. One of the things that I see is that all of us have a set point. I mean, I wake up in the morning. I'm wired optimist. I just wake up.
And then what happens?
And that's just the way. Well, no, I mean, it's the way. I mean, that's my set point, and then I go up and down from there. But I still return to a particular set point. Somebody else might be wired a different way, and you just return to that. That's a set point. But you can move in the positive direction a certain amount. Yes. And that's the same amount that I might move in the positive direction, but it's still in this is making no sense. Honest to God, I have something here that really would make sense, but I realized that if I didn't have a chart, if I couldn't show it on a piece of paper, this 0 to 1 and how that is, this gradient, it's not going to make any sense.
Well, you realize you are the same man who said to me just a few minutes ago in this conversation that we're having, that you're always looking for an argument.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But you're an optimist.
I'm an optimist, but
who looks for an argument.
Exactly. But being wired this way, being wired optimistic, means that I mean that it's not an easy thing to be an optimist, or certainly not to live with one. My wife lives with an optimist, which I think everything's going to turn out right. It doesn't matter how wild the scheme is, no matter what it is. Oh, sure, it's going to turn out great. No worries about it. Dennis.
Funny.
So there. It's not easy. It's not easy being in a relationship. Are you the high maintenance one, or is the other person high maintenance?
Well, with me and my dogs.
But when you're in relationships, because you've been in relationships and you had where do you?
The one long relationship I had was with a very depressed, unhappy person, and it was horrible. I thought about killing him every day. And when it got really close to homicide, I said maybe a divorce would be a better idea.
Maybe we ought to try that, just so that you'll be able to yeah.
Yeah. So no, that it's better to be married to an optimist. Yeah. Way better.
All right. Oh, it'll get us here. All right. Whose turn is it?
I think it is my turn.
Okay.
We are never more discontented with others than when we are discontented with ourselves. Henry Friedrich Emil.
Yes. That so resonates with me, because I find that I am as patient and with you as I am with my internal, because I can sit there. Because if that weren't true, then every time someone cut me off on the freeway or on one of the Austin roads, I would have the same reaction. But I don't.
Right.
It's exactly the same thing. Right. But there are many times when I'll just ease back and let them know, and they'll do exactly the same thing.
If you're in a good
they'll
mood,
cut right away.
Sure, why not?
Sure.
You got nothing to lose.
So if that's true, then it really isn't the act. It really isn't the other people. It's
what's going on with you.
What's really going on?
Oh, yeah.
And this is one of the most annoying things you can say to anyone, that Melissa says to me all the time, is, what's really going on? What do you mean, what's really going on?
So annoying. He cut me off. You saw it.
What's really going on? What's really going on? What's the deal?
See, that's why I'm not married, Dennis. I don't need that. I don't need anybody asking me that question. My dogs never ask.
They know? But yeah, but your dogs are high.
But
you got your dogs stoned. You got them on. You got them on this. What do you call this stuff?
CBD oil.
You got it. That's right. And so now they've gone over into the happy doggy place.
That's exactly right. But they never gave me grief before, even then. They would just look at me like, everything you say must be exactly right. Hey, another quote.
Yep.
Lord, let me be the person my dogs believe I am.
Yes. Yes.
Because they're your best fans. Dogs are your #1 fans.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, I want to be that way. I want to feel like that the dogs, that I can be that person. I can go ahead and be that person. We were talking to Bart Loser about and we were talking about self-image, and how do we be kind to ourselves? How do we be accepting of ourselves when we have these failures? When we have when we go up to do a comedy routine, or we have something, and it's just How do we?
I don't know. What
Do
do
you
you say?
do you sit back? Do you, when you're walking back to your seat after
Uh-huh.
you've done some set or you've done something and it is not gone, what's going on in your head?
Oh, I always tell myself the same thing. I have a beautiful house. I have a car. I'm healthy. I have a steady job. I have benefits. I don't need to worry about whether some people laughed at my jokes.
That is so healthy.
It's
See,
very healthy.
that is health.
It's very healthy.
That is health.
Hey, there's another way around this that I've heard about. I don't do it, but what a fantastic idea. Every morning when you get up, you look in the mirror and you say, "You're gorgeous." You just say it to yourself.
Let me do
You're
it.
gorgeous, you're talented,
You're
you're
gorgeous.
strong.
Ah.
And you think of all the things that you've done and you list off your accomplishments and then you start standing taller and then that's how you go and greet the world. That's how you show up at the world.
Well, see, the problem with that, my only problem with that is that as an optimist, I start that way. So where do I go? Because what I find is that when I then something will happen or something, it's to be able to get back to that and to keep
Well,
that
just say,
perspective.
I was just there this morning.
Yeah. Oh,
How
just
lost
return.
could
just,
I be? I was just.
excuse
It's
me.
not like it's been weeks.
No,
or months.
it's only been a little time.
It's just
yeah.
been a little bit.
It is a blessing. It is a blessing to be. It's almost as much of a blessing as to be a white male in this society. So it's.
Wow.
I'm just letting you know that there is such a thing. I know that this is controversial, but I'm telling you, being a white male is a pretty good. It's a
I'm
pretty
only
good
laughing
gig.
because you're being so honest. Only,
You know,
and
as
it
that
isn't the first time I've ever heard that, actually.
we do get, you know, that third base is a pretty good place to be born on. I'm telling you here. I'm just saying that it is that it's been a pretty good gig. So I'm appreciative of it. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Love is an exploding cigar we willingly smoke.
I'm glad we didn't run out of time before that one came
Linda
up.
Berry.
Isn't that perfect? Isn't that perfect?
Yep.
Because you cannot go into a relationship without knowing you will get hurt. The more you love someone, the more the potential that you're going to get hurt. But hey, still, it's the best thing. The best thing ever. When it goes well, it goes really, really well.
Oh yeah, and it's part of that process because we go into a relationship because we have, or at least for me, is that I have a lot to learn about one of the things about a relationship is that I have a lot to learn about me, because a relationship will teach me everything I want to know about myself. It'll teach me those things it'll teach me all the things that I don't want to, because it's like, when do you know, when is it comfortable to know that you can pass gas in front of the other person? Because that has to happen somewhere along somewhere along the relationship.
Yes.
It becomes okay, because up until then it's not.
That's true.
And it's, so you have to keep that in abeyance, and to say no.
That might be the ultimate line to cross.
Yeah.
It's like once you cross that, you're home.
Then you're fine. Then you have self-acceptance. And you're accepting of the person, and then of course, and then it's your turn.
Okay.
I didn't know how far we could go with passing gas in a conversation, but
hey, this perfect goes right with passing gas.
Yes.
You can never promise an outcome. You can only promise effort.
yes.
Liza Bonin.
Yes. You can never, I keep thinking about this as to when I can be in one of two places. I can either be in the footwork or I can be in the results. And if I'm in the results, like when we're performing, the results is that I'm all into whether or not the people are going to laugh.
Okay.
But when I'm in the footwork, I'm actually in that place of telling that story, being in the present, and then everything will turn out. Mm-hmm. But it all depends on where I have a focus. It's a very subtle thing as to whether I'm in the focus of trying to manipulate the audience to enjoy something,
Yeah.
like on the show here to get them to enjoy it, or whether I'm going to be present here with Amy Samet
Right.
in this conversation.
This one makes me think about contests, because there's no guarantee you're going to win, but you can certainly put in all the time to write the best speech, practice the best speech, perform the best speech. So on that, you have to be happy about the process.
And the process has to be worth it.
Yes.
Because if it's only the result,
yeah.
I mean, it's great to win. It's great to get something, but
You gotta like all of it. Well, I'm sorry, that's not true. Part of it you hate. Part of it I hate the memorizing part, but part of it you shouldn't hate the whole thing. There should be enough good stuff, enough that you can reassure yourself. Well, I learned a lot. I grew.
I want to learn to rehearse more. I want to learn to be able to get that process. I'm very uncomfortable in the rehearsal process.
I understand exactly what you're saying, because there is a huge period of time between the time when it's written perfectly and the time that you completely embody it, where it's just really boring to say it over and over and over and over until you've memorized it, and then you can, what's the word, embody.
But that's the hard work. So where are you in your performing career? What are you interested in? I don't know. You work in the job.
On the couch, Dennis. I just want to lie on the couch. I don't want to do anything else. It's too much work. It's too hard.
Is this new, or is this just?
No, that's what I say for the whole hour until I get up and start working.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time procrastinating and not doing.
Are you at a time? Are you nearing retirement, or do you have?
Oh, you're talking about work?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, that's a tough question.
Yeah.
No, 5 years. I can tell you right now. It will be in 5 years. I will retire in 5 years.
Okay, good.
Because, well, it's all a math equation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want a decent life. I could retire tomorrow if I were willing to, just eat macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, but but your dogs.
And
are they going to have a macaroni and cheese?
Hey,
Come on.
no, I can't. No, they'll be eating steak. I'll be eating
all right.
macaroni and cheese. As things are right now, Dennis, one of my dogs had surgery recently and can't jump up on the bed anymore. So I put my mattress on the floor for the dog.
You're fine.
I know. Thank you.
It'll be perfect.
Thank you.
Louis C.K. Speaking of Louis C.K., what does redemption look like when you've done things like what Louis C.K. and many of the other men who are in the? I'm interested in the concept of redemption.
Well,
is redemption possible?
I'm really glad you asked, because I spent so many hours watching Louis C.K.'s comedy. I watched him on Jeopardy. I watched his TV shows. I watched the movies he was in. You can just Google Louis C.K., or rather search it on YouTube, and you can walk about your house doing your laundry, and Louis C.K. videos will play all day long.
Right.
So as a result, I felt like he was a member of my family, a beloved member of my family, plus I love him. And when this whole uproar, whatever he did, however long ago, for 3 days, I was mad at him, just as I would be with a member of my family.
Yep.
And then I came full circle, and I forgave him. I personally did. I don't know about the rest of the world. I don't really care, but I've forgiven him. Because I always loved him so much, and he's a genius.
He is a genius.
I don't forgive all geniuses.
Right.
Just him.
He gets a pass.
For me, yes, he does.
In the life of Amy Samet, because I wonder about how all of us, people who go to prison, they pay their price, they pay whatever it is, the debt to society, and what does a debt to society look like in something like that? When people have, I find it interesting. It's an interesting concept.
I think in his case, if he does shows, and he can go home that night and say, well, 29 people in the audience like me, so I got those 29 people back.
Yeah.
So maybe he's going to have to crawl out of a hole slowly, but I imagine that would be a good victory for
Well,
him.
yeah, I mean, I certainly, I think about that. I haven't. I've been fortunate in the stupid things that I have done. I haven't been caught. You know, I haven't been caught, and some of it is just I don't have any
precautions. Right now, while we're here. I mean, look, we're
Well,
right on TV. You could.
Well, you know, I have confessed many things that you know in the Comedy
That's
Toastmaster.
true.
I've confessed more things than a lot of people would have
chosen to.
Chosen to
I
confess.
shoplifted nail polish when I was 14.
Yes. Oh dear.
I still remember the color. It was like greenish, silverish, chartreusey silver.
And you're 14 and you shoplifted and then did you feel bad about it?
Not at all.
Not at all. That was just.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
But did you stop after that?
Oh, yeah.
Or did you? I found my career.
No. Oh,
shoplifting?
no. I was amazed at how easy it was. Maybe candy. Maybe there was also candy. And then when I was in college, I worked for a ice cream store, and I ate my weight in ice cream, and that is a form of theft. Plus, every time you goof off at your workplace, you're like stealing a little from your employer. You know what percentage of employees steal from their employer?
What?
Take a guess at a number.
80?
100%.
100%.
I should have made you keep guessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah.
If you define theft every conceivable way, goofing off, taking home paper clips, pencils, taking cash out of the drawer.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, you're stealing time. You're doing, you know, whatever it is that you're doing. Yeah, I was talking to a woman who she works for the state, and they work in a particular department of the state.
Wait, you're not telling one of my stories, are you? Okay.
I didn't out her. I did not. I want everyone to know I didn't. This is not your department. This is a totally different department.
Okay.
I have a friend. No, really, seriously, it's not Amy. No, this is not you. It's a different person. But anyway, they have a lot of people that work at home, and they work off, but they work at the computers at home.
Right.
And they're having to fire these people who are 18 and 20 years because the things that they're Googling, the things that they're using their state computers for. And she tells them, she's in HR, and she tells them, we know what you can, and they still, they're still doing it. They're working at home, then they're not. They're doing so many things instead of on that computer that they take home.
Right.
Even though.
Right. Even though somebody has
told them and says we know every keystroke, every website you're visiting. Yeah. We know that, and yet
I'm as bewildered as you are, Dennis.
Yeah. It's part of what we're. It's part of where we're going. All right. Anyway, Dave Barry, big fan.
Yes.
Dogs feel very strongly that they should always go with you in the car in case the need should arise for them to bark violently at nothing right in your ear.
Isn't that perfect?
Yeah.
Isn't that perfect? And you know, I love the way that's written, because Dave Barry can make people laugh out loud with just the written word.
Totally.
He's not visible. It's not his tone of voice. It's not his physical comedy. It's what you're reading. And when he puts that bark violently at nothing right in your ear, and they feel it's very important. Let the dog feel it's his job to do that. And when I read that, I was thinking of my own dog. On the way to the dog park, she knows she's going to the dog park, and her is it a mouth? Her nose, her right here, there. And so it's like, I know we're going to the dog park. You don't have to tell me we're going to the dog park. I'm the one driving. You don't have to tell me. And yet she has to tell me, we're going to the dog park. We're going to the dog park.
That is wonderful.
So I loved that he made me laugh out loud.
He had, do your dogs say different things when they bark? I mean, are they saying a different,
a language?
A language?
Oh yes, my dog will say, You're not wearing that sweater to work. Like as I'm leaving in the morning, you're not wearing that to work.
Really? And so do you go, oh, well.
My favorite was when I brought home from a special shop in Fredericksburg. They sell like a hoof, and it's huge. And when I brought it home, I brought one home for each of my dogs, and Lily takes that thing and she says, "Hold my calls, I'm going to my office." And she went to her area of the backyard, and she did not move for 2 hours. She was gnawing on that thing. But so help me, her intent, this is what I'm going to be doing now.
This is it.
It was so clear. Yeah, they're amazing communicators with no language.
Yeah.
Yes, I just...
One of the books
Huge dog fan.
that I love is, Are We Smart Enough to Know How Smart Animals Are?
Great question.
Because there is an intelligence there. There is an empathy.
Mm-hmm.
There is a connection. There's a lot that's going on there that they don't care about the Dow Jones or some of the things that we might care about, but there is something that is going on there. There's empathy. There's shame. They know.
Dogs?
I mean, yeah, dogs have a lot. Dogs have a lot of internal life going on.
They poop in public.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the shame. I think that's us.
Have you've never caught a dog doing something?
Oh, by their behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And they know this is something that.
Well, yes, that is true. Okay, you're right about that. I guess I was thinking of those other things that we are taught to feel ashamed about.
Oh yeah. No. Those are things. No.
Yeah.
Please stop humping that man's leg. Would you please?
Yeah.
We're in company.
Did they? Well, I do know that even when they're not guilty, once there was water on the carpeting, the carpet was wet, and I scolded Clyde. I said, "You should not have peed in the house. You should not have done that." And he went, "Oh," and then he went on his back. And then we found out the air conditioner was leaking down into the carpet, but he still had been scolded.
He accepted responsibility. Very, very nice. Did you have fun?
Did I have fun? Absolutely. Are we done?
Yeah, we're almost
oh my
done.
Goodness.
But we're
okay.
all right, the only thing is we can do this again.
Okay. Oh,
Will you
sure.
do it again?
That's fine.
We'll have another set of.
Yes, and we covered my favorites. I'm fairly sure we covered my favorites. This was all. I made sure that they were all favorites, so it's all good.
All right.
Yeah, we
That's
did
terrific.
we talked about dogs. I'm happy. I'm happy anytime I get to talk about my dog.
Are you Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Wow, it's so weird to have. It's like on Friends. I'll do a Friends reference, and you'll know immediately whether or not the
person knows
have
Friends.
any idea.
Yeah.
That, and there's just complete blank, and that's the way I feel about Game
Right.
of Thrones because I don't know anything about it yet. People who do are completely absorbed and have all this backstory and all this of something, and I can just sit there as if they're talking another language.
Well, we're probably done already, so I can't say goodbye anymore. But if I had said to you, "Not today," was one of my favorite quotes, all the Game of Thrones would be, "Oh yeah, Arya Stark."
See, that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, this was a lot of fun, Dennis.
Well, this is. I would like
I didn't
to.
know you were such an argument starter. Oh yes, I did, because I followed you and.